Welcome back to WGLNA Season 2. We're in group stages, and we're having a serious good time here tonight. Fulcrum Gaming just slapped down Pubstars 3-0. That's the Fulcrum that we're used to here. But, you know, Pubstars, I think, trying to do something at least on steps, but just did not happen at all.
No, it did
Set
not.
the pace. But Pubstars, again, is a good team. And,
Yes, they are.
And this happened a lot in Season 1.
I feel like, honestly,
against
Pubstars wasn't
Fulcrum.
able to showcase their skills here.
Yeah.
They got kind of opening countered all 3 games. Can we say that?
They pretty much
They
got outplayed.
Crushed. Yeah. Crushed
was-
in just like the strategical choices of where they're bringing their tanks. So it was really unfortunate, but I anticipate Pubstars will bounce back from this, and we'll see some cool stuff. Keep in mind, Fulcrum Gaming and Pubstars are both equal in their stats, 1-1. Very few teams have a 100% win rate.
That's true, but that's going to change here in a couple days. Simp against Simple Takers was the first match tonight. Simp took it in a decisive fashion, but very close in the shootout. And we had another shootout after that. No Limit versus Bernal Empires. No Limit was able to take it. And then Fulcrum Gaming takes down Pubstars, the first match tonight, not in a shootout. That's why we're behind. We apologize to the teams that have to stay up late, but we're cruising as fast as we can here. As soon as we get you guys invited to the game, ready to go, we will start it up according to our admin, of course. And up next, we have Nerve versus War and Peace. This is going to be War and Peace's debut here at WGLNA. And this is a team that, frankly, I know nothing about. The only thing I know about them is that they're based on a book that was very, very long, and I've never read it.
We've seen them a little bit in the qualifiers, but I'm going to throw it over.
War and Peace is a very old tournament team, and you've seen, if you've been involved in World of Tanks competitive scene, War and
Sound
Peace.
it out.
Yeah, something in my throat. War
if
and
you've been
Peace.
involved in the World of Tanks competitive scene for a while, you'll have seen War and Peace participate in different World of Tanks events and tournaments.
Would you look at that? Clutch has
Which
got
I
nothing.
completely
stuck
agree with
on
you,
its
'cause
throat.
I've seen
yeah,
them
they've
here and
been
there.
all over the place. I mean, when you were started commentating that first tournament, you probably saw them in there. They
Yeah.
were in the standings for that. They've been around forever, and they haven't really been the highest performing team, but they've certainly made some changes to their roster, which may have a decent effect.
Well, they earned their spot in regulation matches. And the regulation matches, I forget which team they're up against. It could have been EC, could have been Turtle Police. I'm actually going to ask them in the face-off because we have the face-off ready. Let's go ahead and talk to the team captains of Nerve and War and Peace. Gentlemen, good evening. War and Peace, we're going to start with you since you're the fresh face. It is Patrial 2000 or Pat Real 2000? How do you pronounce it?
Pat Real 2000.
Pat Real 2000. Welcome to WGLNA. We're excited to see how you're going to perform tonight. Now, you made it through the regulation matches. Which team did you defeat in the end to make it into Season 2?
I think it was Turtle Police.
Okay, I think it was Turtle Police as well. I had to check my notes there. How does it feel to be here? Are you excited? Are you nervous about your first on-screen performance here for the world to see?
Well, I mean, it's nervous. Starting off again. I mean, we have experience last year for Eurosteel, but this is a totally new team. A lot of the guys have gone different directions, so this is a brand new team, and so we'll see what we can do.
All right. And can you tell us a little bit more about some of the players in your team? And Rookhill said that War and Peace is a name that's been around in the esports scene. How would you describe your team? Are you aggressive? Are you flexible? What would you say?
Yeah, we're aggressive, and sometimes that gets us in trouble. So we've kind of we decided to get into some new strats this year for us. So we're kind of adapting to the new. When we were doing this last year, the Artie was still a big player in this. Now the Artie's gone, so everything is speed. And so we're adjusting to that, but we were a real aggressive, a heavy team. So
Hornsby, last night we saw your first performance. How would you rate your first performance in Season 2?
I'll be honest, I was actually surprised at, really the mistakes we made, we were able to go back, review them, and really go over them very clearly on where we did things wrong, things we can do different, especially against really experienced teams like Simple Tankers, obviously, who have been together for a very long time as comparison where we're still working guys in, and I think as their first real match, they did well. They know where they need to improve, so hopefully we see those improvements tonight.
And coming into your second match tonight, do you feel you have a bit of an advantage against War and Peace since you're more of a seasoned team?
I don't really like to consider advantages either way. I know that matches easily fling back and forth, so we go in it one match at a time. We just try and win it, one game, one match, and then go on to the next one.
And Nerve Hornsby, is there anything you'd like to say to Pat Riel 2000 and War and Peace before we start this match?
Hey, best of luck to you guys.
Good luck to you guys too.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Nerve, I believe you have the higher seed, so you get to call the coin. Heads or tails?
Heads.
We're gonna go with heads. Coin flip, please. It is heads. Do you choose the map or do you
Defer.
defer? They'll defer. Pat Riel 2000.
We're gonna go with Runeberg.
Ruinberg will be the map choice. North or
Ruinberg.
south, Hornsby?
We'll go with South.
Nerve will spawn to the south side of Ruinberg. War and Peace will take the other side. Gentlemen, best of luck to you.
Thank
All
you.
right, good luck.
Some interesting stuff coming out of there. Obviously, these two teams are trying to prove themselves, but I do want to mention Rule. What if, I love Ruinberg a lot, okay? And I like starting from the south side. What if I'm War and Peace, I lose when I was starting in the north side? What do I do about that if they pick the map?
Russian reversal. If
Russian
you have
reversal.
lost on a map, you can choose that map again and play the opposite side. But no map can be played 3 times. So that is another thing that we've added to the rules. We haven't seen a team take advantage of that yet.
No.
But that can be a scenario. And we even theory crafted a bit yesterday saying of, well, we have this excellent strategy that nobody's seen yet. We can only really implement it on the north side of Ruinberg. We get the south side. Do we lose on purpose to get the guaranteed victory? That's a bit of a gamble.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done it, but
If you're up 2-0 though,
still wouldn't do it.
yeah, I just try to go for the victory every time.
Yeah, I agree. But what happens if you draw? It's unfortunate that you can't go back there. So, maybe Rookill's idea does have some sort of merit to it. I don't want to be drawing twice. Come on.
No. Well, I mean, it gives the teams a chance to play one of the maps, at least, if they did lose,
Yep.
where they want. And I find that to be a pretty good setup scenario, especially to get rid of that defeatist purpose, right? I mean, you lose the first map, and you go, great, well, now we get to choose a map, but they're going to choose a spawning position, and it's going to continue that way, and then you start to have some of the people gripe, and it just snowballs, it gets worse and worse, and you say, you know what, guys, let's choose this map next time. If it doesn't go our way, let's go back to that first map where we lost, because I know we can turn it around. And once that momentum shifts, you have a paradigm shift, and then that team can take it.
Yeah, definitely so.
Very
I
possible.
think it's one of the cooler rules that's been implemented here because I think a lot of teams, for instance, if I trained Abby for so long, a lot of people would just go, okay, I'm going to just camp the north side. Of course, you can camp either side, but if you want a second go at it or something like that, you can go back to that map and see and press your luck with it. So I think that's just something really valuable and really cool.
It was Pat Riel 2000, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I for some reason I want to call him Pat
Patrial.
Riel.
It's because of Montreal.
Yes, exactly. Which, why? Why, brain? Why are you
Yeah.
thinking that? But Pat Riel
It
2000.
should be Montreal.
Yeah. It's French.
It's French.
Pat Riel 2000 representing his team there. He looked ready to go. He looked solid. He looked like the type of presence that would be commanding in any sort of team scenario. And I felt that he, first time on camera, did a great job. And I think that's going to be a good setting for the rest of his team for their performance in the game itself.
Yeah. And you got to keep in mind, too, you were talking about who has the advantage, Nerve or War and Peace. And you got to kind of give it to War and Peace because remember, Nerve has been together for a very short amount of time. We've talked about how War and Peace have been here forever. This kind of goes to just knowing your teammates a little bit better. And I wouldn't be surprised if War and Peace just upset us tonight and took out Nerve 3-0.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
Would
3-0.
you bet on that if you were in chat?
Would I bet on it? Yeah, I'd bet on
All
it.
right, chat.
Maybe not 3-0, but I bet that
Do you
they'd
share
win.
the same bet as Greetorp? Now's the time to get your bets in before battle number 1 starts. Randall, your thoughts before we jump into the first battle here?
Andre, would you be willing to bet dinner on the winner of this match?
Don't you already owe me a meal?
Yeah, but I mean, we can make it even when you
Okay.
lose.
Well,
So you buy each other meals?
No, no one buys anyone a meal.
that's ridiculous.
Well, then nobody
I still
wins.
want my meal.
Yeah.
You'll get your meal
Yeah.
if you win.
Yeah, but
So it's double or nothing?
if I would lose, I
2
still
meals?
want my meal.
Double or nothing.
I still want my meal, though.
I'm
Okay.
hungry.
Okay.
Okay.
Then let's bet on it. Shake. Shake. Why are your hands so cold?
Because have
You're
thin
dead
hands.
inside.
Because I have feelings? Is that what you said? Because you have feelings? So you're so cold? Yeah, you should be. You know who you could play for Halloween? Ichabod Crane, and then I could be the Headless Horseman.
Let's do it. You can kill me as we walk down the street.
Yeah, we'll be in Toronto though. Oh, no, we can be back in time.
Yeah,
I have a cape, but
we-
not
we-
a big torso.
Actually, in high school, we did a show where our drum major dressed up as the Headless Horseman.
Oh, cool.
That's
yeah,
so cool.
she was. She conducted the whole show in Headless Horseman. It was very cool.
Last year we had a Halloween broadcast. Actually,
It was a lot of
It was a
fun.
lot of fun. Clutch was dressed up as the Phantom
That's
in
right.
the Phantom of the Opera. I was dressed up as Pac-Man.
That's right, and I was impressed to see how you were able to sit in your costume on the set.
Yeah, it was really cool. It involved being naked, of course.
Oh,
'cause
great. That's a lovely image. I want to
just
focus on
half
the image.
naked. I was just kidding.
I want to focus on the
guys.
image of the game because Ruinberg is loaded up. We have both the teams ready to go. Let's jump into match number 4 of the night. Battle number 1. It is Nerve versus War and Peace on Ruinberg.
And here we go. Let's take a look at that lineup. 2 5100s and 3 IS-3s from Nerve. 2 5100s, 2 IS-3s, and a 1390 from War and Peace.
Robot Chicken 1 is one of the players here, already a fan of War and Peace. It's a great television show, very funny. If you haven't seen the Star Wars episodes, make sure to check them out, especially if you're a Star Wars fan. Pat Real 2000 cruising along here in his IS-3, along with Robot Chicken, who's leading the charge just around the corner. They're not going to scout any tanks yet, because it seems none of the blue tanks have really moved except Lieutenant Carter. And Robot Chicken and Pat Real 2000.
That's an interesting position,
They'll
actually.
hold this line. Yeah, they'll hold this line. But now the blue tanks are moving into a better position here. It's good to stop any type of aggression to get that initial fire and strikes from the IS-3s. But it's what's going to happen if they could get flanked or if the rest of the team pushes from the Delta area where AC Dub is, I
Yeah.
wonder.
Well, both of these teams have set up to the west, so if they're
I like
most
this.
likely to discover each other, and it'll probably be a pretty slow match. That's my call, at least,
Yeah.
because we don't have teams going to opposite sides, or they don't have highly mobile tanks. Both teams, well, there is Actub in the 1390, but it doesn't look like he wants to be all that aggressive too early on. It's not a bad move. I mean, he's all the way up in E0, and he's probably not going to join this fight or find anyone for a little while. So I'm expecting this to go very late into the match. We're probably not going to see much before the 3-minute mark, probably, where both teams then realize that they're actually right across from each other.
I actually love how War and Peace is playing this. So, listen, Delta Village is great to take. You have that north side jump on it. You're able to do a lot. But the south side has a lot of capping options, and we've seen a lot of baits from that. And I just feel that overall, taking the south side is just, or excuse me, taking the west side, it's just so much better because of just denying your opponents, you know?
Yeah, and again, at the 5-minute mark, we'll see a lot of resets coming from some of the different teams because of the strategy here. And a lot of this spotting and positional play of the T1s proves to be a very, very intriguing and necessary factor, especially on this type of map where it's cut in half. It's a hybrid map. You have more of the open play on the TIE Fighter, on the approach from the Delta Village. That can lead to some even hold down positions, some good firefights to the northern side.
Now, we do want to update you guys. Unfortunately, Clutch disconnected on purpose. I don't know why you did. No, just
No,
kidding, Clutch.
I got disconnected from the game, guys,
Yeah.
so we're only going to have a viewpoint of the blue team. We apologize for that, but the action will continue. We don't want to halt these players here.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah, so the
Computers
vehicle of
do that.
esports is technology, and technology, as we saw at the Super Bowl, you know, the lights went out for half the stadium.
It's
So sometimes the computer can get
it-
disconnected.
It was on purpose.
That ruined my Super Bowl
It was
party.
on purpose.
Yeah,
That wasn't mine, but it was the Super Bowl party I was at. It was
come back.
No, it was
We
for ads.
ran out of
Extra
everything.
ads. They made so much money from that. Ridiculous.
everyone got so
Hey,
bored though.
people got to get paid.
Yep. More money, more problems, though. That was a lot of problems. Anyway, there are no problems because these guys are not moving that much. As you can see, very defensive. IS-3s have not moved. I've just been on them the whole time. Let's look at other stuff.
Well, we have 5100, another IS-3 on the church side. And as we talked about the resets before, Ruinberg we've seen some good brawl modes, and that approach down that eight line, that curvature into the crossroads, which is the middle of the map, and how those tanks will use that a lot to get the flank on the enemy, especially if it's a failed flag capture. And we've seen that once or twice, at least in Season 1, that has proved to be a switch over to a victory from the team that we may have considered was down or not in the right position, but to move that quickly, especially with T-69s in the past, to set up those flanks was crucial for those victories.
I'm actually very surprised that we don't see more east side movement from the south side. War and Peace has already shown, okay, they want to take the west a little bit just to slow the game down and really cut off the cap options. There are still cap options from the east side. It takes a little bit longer, but at least swing over there, kill any of the T1s or the spotters that are seeing what's going on. Of course, we know everything that's going on, but a lot of times there will be T1s hidden over there or hidden at least up in A0, well, maybe not that far, but they will be hidden up in the northeastern section. Go take them out, and then you can start swinging back and forth, trying to look for cap options or even a good engagement.
Good engagement is what any of these teams are going to try to look for here, but that's not going to be the case, for at least for another couple minutes.
Lieutenant Carter might be coming into a confrontation pretty quickly, as there's a 1390 that is about to greet him. Lieutenant Carter, get behind the wall.
The wall won't be enough.
Just around the corner, and he gets some.
And also, I do want to mention that a T1 Spirit AW actually fired. I felt like that was a big mistake.
Oh, this is going to be pushed now, and Haywood and Jen Scott on the other side of the map are going to begin an engagement, just pushing straight forward. Petriel is down to 677. Jen Scott and Haywood leading charge. Explosive Brutality has shown up now. This is not looking very good for War and Peace.
No, it is not.
Nerf pulled that trigger.
Yeah, it's that 1390 being out of position. They're taking advantage of it right now. Pat Real down to 677 health. DeRossa taking a little bit of damage as he is only one shot away from dying in that IS-3. He's going to take one more shot. Haywood lining up the shot. Oh my God, was that a miss? I think it might have been a miss. Haywood down to 44 hit points. And Explosive Brutality now going to try to tank a little bit of damage. The Battle Buddy, but right around the corner.
There's that IS-3, that flanking position from the blue team. The good swarm trying to get, or at least stop, any other tanks coming down the line. But there's one right behind him trying to get there. And there is that 1390, and he gets the kill against Explosive Brutality. 5100s are low, 605 against the IS-3 at 422, and a full health AMX 1390. The red team, War and Peace, is going to be able to clean this up if they land their shots very, very well here. Pat Real 2000, though, is down to 29 HP as the good swarm is on the chase.
The goon swarm is going to take him out, but at what cost, Clutch? And look at this. AMX 1390 coming in front, and he
shoots
missed.
his gun. He shoots Actub's gun.
Oh my God! Beautiful play by Actub and the goon swarm. It looks like he's going to take another big shot from Pat. Nope. Pat Real actually goes
Pat Warm
down
gets the kill.
here.
Is he
cap,
clipping?
though.
Is the
Flag cap.
1390
Yes,
clipping?
1390's been clipping for a good 25 seconds, I'd say. He should be reloading shortly.
Yeah, he should be. Nice ring around the Rosie. It looks like the Goon Swarm will be able to connect another shot. He needs 2 more shots to kill this 1390. But now, Actub is reloaded too. 1 more shot left. Can he get the penetration? No, he doesn't. And he needs to land.
Bounces again.
He bounces again.
One.
He bounces again. Goon Swarm.
But 5 seconds, 4 seconds left.
This is good. You want to be in this position. Actub gonna come around the side though, and base has been captured. Ladies and gentlemen, War and Peace will take that.
And here we go to the red. It is, to the south, excuse me, the red team. War and Peace up 1-0. And to the north, we got the blue team, Nerve. And we are seeing west side from the red team, where some hill plays from Nerve. It's going to be tactical opposites on the side of the map. And, oh, I wonder if they're going to get on the castle side quick enough. But what do we have for tanks, Greetor?
Same lineups from each side except an IS-3 instead of a T-32. The T-32 is being chosen by Nerve. So 2 5100s, 2 IS-3s.
Oh, Nerve wins. All right, next game.
Huh.
No, just kidding.
Huh.
Just kidding. Let's go ahead and check out the IS-3s. Robot Chicken in one of them. The other one's going to be Pat Real, and then Herbal Thrill I like these names. Then each name kind of plays off each other with how you say it.
Haywad's been very active on the Twitters here, and he's actually tweeted out he's very excited to be in WGLNA, and we are so happy to
I
have
thought
him.
his name was Haywood.
Yeah, that's what I said.
But you said Haywad.
Oh, well, Haywad.
Well, it
Yeah.
is written Haywad. I feel like that's a typo.
Well, too
What-
bad. Haywad.
His name is now Haywad.
Yeah. Haywad.
Hey.
Hey, World of Destruction.
That's right.
That's what
Oh.
he is.
A C-dub in the T1 with that great play last game of cruising right in front of that team is going to be scouting here for the red team. No placement yet.
Look
on
at
Tank
this.
Alley.
Hornsby and Spirit AW are at somewhere near a standoff. Spirit AW may be able to figure out that Hornsby is hiding in a bush. He knows he's been spotted, but he's not spotted Hornsby in return. Hornsby's being very patient, waiting for Spirit AW.
This
to-
is such a common spot to be shot at, too. Like this bush, I've seen so many T1s die to blind fire over here.
Yeah, it's a pretty common bush. He could actually back up a few meters and probably be fine. Oh, there's blind fire going out.
Yeah.
And he does not believe Hornsby is there, or at least he's playing it safe and making sure that Hornsby is not farther in the back with binocs deployed. If he has binocs deployed, he could spot that T1 out.
Again,
yeah.
blind fire.
He's throwing it back there. That's his prediction. He thinks Hornsby is back in the far A1 corner with a camo net and binocs, which would actually allow him to spot.
And he's got the shells to
Yeah,
spare to
you're
get
right.
that.
Yeah.
You're right. Look at this. I mean,
And actually,
constantly on my screen, you always see shots on the ground over here. It's actually right there. You can see shots. Right here, you can see shots. They're coming out. He's trying to do damage.
Yeah, Spirit AW's moving his turret away though. Now he may be turning back. And landing a couple more shots. Will they get
Now,
close?
Haywad in a great position, seeing all these tanks, seeing this IS-3 on the G line, and he will be able to make accurate, I guess, estimations of where his opponent is.
actually, he may be able to get some decent spotting out if he can
Well, he
place
is.
himself properly.
Pat Reel is exposed in his IS-3, and shots might be lined up pretty soon here.
Ooh, and Herbal Thrill spotted.
Oh,
Yep.
yummy, yummy in my tummy.
They are seen here.
And
they're gonna back
Haywood.
up.
Trying to get the shot. Will he get it? Yes,
Yes!
he will. Nice connection. That T-32, nice high profile, is able to get that shot.
Great
Right
view
under,
range.
right
Great view
into that
range, yeah.
spaced armor too. Great shot, right under the turret.
View range equivalent to a T-69, right?
Yeah,
400?
400. It's very standard for a lot of American
400.
tanks. Yeah, just the general strength of American line is you have very good view range on many of the
Yes.
tanks. So you have this view range, but the IS-3 has some terrible view range. And it cannot see that T-32 up on the hill. Oh, but Spirit AW is back. Hornsby is going to open fire, and Spirit AW is taken down to 44, while Hornsby is down to 53 hit points. Hornsby backs up and is going to try to retreat because Spirit AW can retreat behind cover, while Hornsby is pretty much out in the open.
Spirit AW gets shot up and is killed by Hornsby. First death, first blood goes to Nerve here on this map. And that hill push is going to prove to be very, very fruitful and successful if they're able to get a couple more shots down that road. But we're seeing Herbal Thrill along with Pat Reel 2000 moving into Tank Alley themselves and positioning their turrets to try to stop any movement coming down that side of the hill. They don't see anything yet, so they're going to hug that side castle wall to stop any shots ringing from that top area. The no turret can aim that far down, that low for those tanks, and that's going to be a good position for them. But they're going to have to make a decision. Do they push up and go for the flag cap and keep the two remaining heavies, the 5100s, in a guard mode with full clips to try to stop one or two tanks before they fully push in, or are they going to wait and try to get a surround as they commit to the bottom of the hill?
Things are a little bit dicey as finally mobilizing down the hill. IS-3s are leading the charge with Haywad right behind, and of course the 1500s right behind them. But the initiation is going to be one of the most important parts. I mean, defensively, you can get some, I'm anticipating.
Durasta, you're going to meet him head on. And there he is. No, he's completely caught out in the open. Nerve is going to get this underway in their favor. The IS-3s will lock down the 5100. Pavlo and his 5100 is going to be on the run, and as these two huge damage dealers, but glass cannons
But look,
get
Goonswarm has
destroyed.
run into 3 IS-3s, and he's taken out to 14 and finished off. Jen Scott is completely in the open right now.
That's right, and Jen Scott not looking too good. Down. Oh, he's down. He's
Yep.
down for the count. Pave low is going to be
Oh, but from behind.
killed from behind. Yeah.
There's the flank from the remaining 5100 and the T-32 who moved past that section for that flank, and they're going to hold this area. But Herbal Thrill and Pat Real 2000 can get in a good flank hold down position as the other heavy tank on the red team will move. That's going to be Robot Chicken to try to get some shots from behind.
Ooh, nice.
I would rather him focus on the AMX 5100, but the
He
T-32
will.
can block that shot, though, for at least for a little while with the start. But now Psycho Killer's going to move back behind. He doesn't know it's coming, and here's going to be the shot from the blue tank, or no, the red tank is going to follow the other 5100 Explosive Brutality.
So they
for the
are
kill.
encased, but there's not a lot of hit points that's surrounding them, so they can easily just push out on one of these, and they're going to do it on a Herbal Thrill, excuse me. 4 hit points, though, and he is able to get his last shot out before actually dying here. He got it on Explosive Brutality. He was down to 250 hit points, and Robot Chicken, a very healthy Robot Chicken, might I add, is going to get in here, ram into Psycho Killa, and take a big shot on him. Haywatt, though, still up at 763 hit points, and he's looking healthy as well.
Well, the flag capture is going down. 26 seconds left with those 2 tanks that are on it. Robot Chicken's going to have to kill 3 heavies and then move back there in time. He's going to fall back here to get away from the damage, maybe to try to slow down or stop at least the flag capture for now, but he's up against so much firepower, especially that 5100. A good high roll shot could shut down that 5100. However, 5 seconds left on the clock. Looks like he's just going to wait it out for a victory for Nerve via flag capture on the map that is Himmelsdorf, which makes it a tied up game between these 2 teams. And Nerve, using the play of the hill and having that 5100 and T-32 move past the initial firefight and get that flank is what sealed the deal for them.
That's one of the things. They're moving into positions where, yes, it's very audacious for who is it? Nerve to make an entire hill push, but at the same time, War and Peace not having a T1 committed up there, right? Like, they already know that one T1's killed in the west and the other one's proxy spotting on Tank Alley. They're saying, well, wait, you have no indicators to know where we are, and we know you're playing defensive. We haven't seen any spots from you. You're all the way on the southern side. Let's just go up the hill. It looked really derpy, like, oh, you just use 5 tanks, go up the hill, and then go down it, get lucky, and then win. But no, that's not what it is. They know that there's no way that their opponents can be aggressive. The T1s are alive. They're covering the west side. They're covering Tank Alley. They know exactly what their opponents are capable of. Then moving down that ramp, they're guaranteed to have some sort of surprise and initiation on their opponents.
That's right. And let's go ahead and see the replay of that brawl, that initial engagement, to see how that really worked here. Now we have Durasta just completely out in the open in that 5100. And again, the pattern you will see over and over again. You lock down the 5100s, you will lock down an 80% victory, more or less. And that's just a ballpark figure, but still, when you're able to shut down that damage output of these tanks, that is huge. And the remaining firefight's going to be between the IS-3s, and then Explosive Brutality a little bit later on comes in with his 5100 untouched, undamaged, and is able to get the destruction. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break, though. We come back, we're going to get Rookill's thoughts on that last battle and get ready for battle number 3. Don't go anywhere. You're watching WGLNA, and we're going to have match number 4, battle number 3 after this. Welcome back to WGLNA Season 2 Group Play. We're in Week 1, Day number 2, Match number 4, Battle number 3. It's a lot of numbers. Tanks is all about numbers, and whoever does the higher number of damage against high numbers of HP will have higher numbers in their match wins, and will get higher amounts of money. It's all about math.
But more money, more problems.
Not for me. Not enough money, more problems. Let's go ahead and jump into the next battle. It's battle number 3. It's going to be on Ensk. Nerve versus War and Peace.
Well, Clutch, definitely for your profession. As an actor, more money, more problems does not exist in that industry.
No,
if you get a lot of money,
It's
you
more,
done good.
More money, more people that want to represent me and take a percentage. And that's okay, because they work for me, they bring me work, that's just fine. But what kind of work are we going to see with these tanks?
We're going to see 2 5100s, 2 IS-3s from both sides, and then a Pershing over an IS-3. Nerve really liking that extra utility tank rather than doubling up on an IS-3. We saw that last battle with the T-32. Now over here with the Pershing on Ensk.
Yeah, I remember first seeing the Pershing in Season 1 play, and even more in the qualifiers going, what? I understand, but I am intrigued. But now it's becoming more of a staple for these different teams and how it's playing out. And yes, we've talked about it before earlier tonight and yesterday. The 50 penetration difference with the T-69 for its heat rounds have opened some more doors and eyes and ears to some other tank selections on the battlefield, really. And Randall, would you agree?
Yeah, long before the T-69, tanks like the Pershing were more common, but when tanks like the T-69 showed up, they had 300 heat pen, it's an autoloader, all that stuff, made it such a wonderful choice of tank, and there was a great reason to bring it. It was just super potent, and it fit well within the playstyle of 742. Pershing became a less used tank. I was always a fan, but I was always one of those people that was not wanting to change. I also loved the T-32. And it's no longer the age of the T-32
I think the best part about the T-69...
All good things must come to an end.
Yes.
The best thing about the T-69 was the fact that you could put reliable damage out in a very short amount of time, right? Like, normally it would take you 6 seconds to unload your entire clip. 4 shots, you have a reload of 2, you're doing your initial shot, and then you reload 3 times for the 3 last shots. Now all of a sudden you can't do that because you don't have enough time to aim, or normally you don't have enough time to aim, because you do need to aim a little bit more to compensate for that extra 50 penetration.
About a half a second more aiming, and that's a huge amount of time.
That's a big nerf, big nerf, because all of a sudden that's 20% more that you're out there in the open.
And on top of that, I mean, even if you can theoretically get the perfect shot if you have all the time in the world to aim, you still are going to run into so many situations where you don't have a reliable pen at every single shot. So it's very difficult, especially on city maps where you're going to run into IS-3s and tanks like T-32s. Pershing actually can, with track shots, if you go for track shots with a T-69, Pershing can even absorb some shots. Sure. And the turret is very strong. It can still bounce. There are some weak spots. That 250
heat
pen.
T-34 turret, right?
No. The Pershing is just the Pershing turret.
No, it's very similar to the T-34.
Oh, the T-32, the T-29, the T-34, all those turrets are very similar. It's the American-style turret. I mean, you take a look at it, it's just the American style.
It's the concept has stayed the same throughout the different tanks.
Yeah, and you can see it throughout many tanks now. It does change a little bit, like the T-34 and the T-29, for example. There's much longer back of the turret there. But generally, American tanks look
I think I know where the fuel tank is, by the way.
Where's the fuel tank?
It looks like a fuel tank on a car.
That's not the fuel tank.
No.
Oh, really?
You can open that hatch
and throw shells out, bro.
Yeah.
That's where the shells go.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And they expel the shells out there.
I know where the loader
Well, the
is.
casing, sorry, not the actual shells.
Yeah, you don't expel ammunition, but yeah, the casings.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's where the loader is then.
Yeah. You know exactly where the loader
Boom.
is. Mm-hmm.
I've been inside an M4 Sherman, and just sitting in the driver's seat was cramped, but not as cramped as trying to sit.
Well, you're a bit of a
inside
tall
the
guy, so.
I am. I think I'd rather fit in the commander's hatch, but the recoil guard too. To think of that gun firing inside of that small compartment. There's this metal guard. It's thin, but it's to make sure none of your arms and legs is inside it, because if it is, it's gonna be gone.
Yeah, a lot of Russian tanks were known for taking off limbs. Yeah, because they didn't think so much of this.
They're like, just don't be stupid.
No, well, I mean, the British had their tea kettles, tea time in the tank, which is always very, very important.
You gotta have tea. I mean, if you're not comfortable, how can you possibly play tanks?
I really like the Pershing decision because, something that you can't forget about is view range. And when you bring only IS-3s and AMX-5100s, your max view range is, what is that?
Well, the 5100 has
80% of Pershing, around there?
Well, the IS-3 much less than 80, but the 5100, yeah. Well, maybe a little more than 80.
Yeah, and I would even say it's less than 80% because normally your 5100 isn't the one spotting things, right? Like, you don't want your 5100 that close to anything. But the Pershing, 400++ based on crew skills, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh yeah, with these guys have perfect counts, so actually they have awesome crew skills. They're seeing
That's true.
They're seeing 420 something, maybe the 420s for view range with all those view range boosting crew skills. Yeah.
It helps out so much. It really does. And being able to see your opponents, even on N square, there is a lot of urban fighting. Though not so much this time, but normally there is a lot of urban fighting.
Well, Lieutenant Carter is going to be able to scout something here pretty soon, and Herbal Thrill is scouted by Lieutenant Carter, so there is some play on the field. Lieutenant Carter's alerting or making Herbal Thrill alert himself. Hey, SOS guys, I've been spotted here, as I'm sure he's talking over his voice network with the rest of his team.
Well, if
All right,
Lieutenant Carter is
himself.
spotted, everyone knows that whoever is on the other side should be proxying him.
Herbal Thrill is still spotted though. Now he has disappeared. And we're reaching the 3-minute 45-second mark here. So it's a little bit too late for any type of reset, at least for the kill zone. The kill zone is the amount of time they're going to need to get all the kills for a victory here. Because the 8-point rule is no longer in effect, that means you have to destroy all of your enemy tanks, all of the enemy tanks, or capture their base before the time runs out.
Yeah, this is going to be really difficult to actually do that. I'd expect to see either team hiding their T1s, although, of course, for Nerve, you have a very easily hidden Hornsby in B1. But for the War and Peace team, we have both T1s relatively close to the rest of their team. So if we manage to see a decisive brawl with the last 3 minutes, there's if it went to Nerve, there's so little chance for War and Peace to actually make it draw.
Yep, somebody's going to have to make a move here if they're going to go for that victory. If not, it will be a draw, which will bring us to battle number 4 in a tied-up match. And Goon Swarm able to take down one of the T1s here.
Yeah, Spirit doing kind of a bad job at actually scouting there. He was spotted there beforehand. He knew he was spotted there beforehand and still went to the same place where he was spotted. Ultimately got punished.
Hornsby is going way in, and he's all the way in G1 now. And there he's going to spot DeRosta and Patriel and back off.
Yeah,
and there's going to be the all-in from the members of Nerve. They're just going to push straight down the 3-4 line.
Oh, this is perfect, because right now Lieutenant Carter is also behind, scouting out everyone, just allowing the rest of his team to know the positions. And of course, they don't want to waste a shell on a T1, as the rest of the team
Psycho
sprints.
Killer in the 5100 shoots right through that window for a shot on Pavlov, and again, another shot through the window. Beautiful play by Psycho Killer in the 5100, making him soft in his HP, allowing for these IS-3s to get the surround kill, and they're able to get it. Nice play from Psycho Killer, but he is a little bit more exposed. 2 tanks are down. The remaining tanks are still left alive for Nerve. Psycho Killer, the one with the lowest HP, but still left alive here in his 5100. And the red base is under attack. This is a trigger pull from the blue team with that 1 tank at 129 seconds over 132 left on the clock. This could be another victory for Nerve, and a perfect time to set it up.
Look at this, Hornsby even doing work over here. These L tractors are consistently being a pain in the neck, just constantly shooting at the back. He was able to take out a little bit of damage on Robot Chicken beforehand. And look at that, another 35 hit points down on Robot Chicken. Boom, big shot by an IS-3 will destroy him, clean him up, and that's gonna do it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another win from Nerve.
And an excellent use of that 5100 shooting through those windows, man. It looks like one of the tanks was not ready for War and Peace. They're going to be down a man at 41 tier points. Pat Real 2000 is going to be cruising in the 1390 along with AC Dub. And we have 3 T69s for their tanks of choice along with 1 T1.
Wow.
The opposite side for Nerve, 2 T32s, a T69, 2 AMX 1390s, a Lull Tractor, L Tractor, and a T1. I need to stop calling it a Lull Tractor because that's actually the TOG 2.
No, the Lull Tractor is its traditional name since the very dawn of World of Tanks. It has been known as the Lull Tractor.
You know, I really like Nerve's lineup so far. The T32s just, to me, make a much better choice than those T69s, but we'll see. You know, continuously we've seen the T69s just underperform every single round. Now we can see 2 separate fights, T32s and T69 fighting all the way over the west side against those T69s. On the other side, we have AMX 1390s battling it up, trying to duke it out on the Lighthouse.
It's such a strange approach. No other team has approached Cliffs like this, but this is the first time we're seeing actually an engagement beginning in the west part of this map.
That's
This
right.
is
The
crazy.
T32s are holding the line, though, as Goon Swarm and Haywood are trying to lock down their position, but they are up against a cliff wall, and these T-69s are going to get the surround, taking down Lieutenant Carter. Is Pat Real 2000 up on the other side of the map, and AC Dub cleans up Haywood, but Goon Swarm is able to take down Spirit AW. The remaining T-32 still left alive, Goon Swarm, as he's going to get swarmed himself by the T-69, but Herbal Thrill has his rear exposed to some fire from the other side. Those are the T-69 and the L-Tractor by Hornsby,
wow.
and they're going to keep trading those blows. Goon Swarm still staying alive, forcing the T-69s to finish off that engagement. He was alive for a long time, and that could mean a reload a little bit later in this stage here for the red team.
Yeah, Psycho Killa all by himself. He needs to get out of there ASAP.
Although Radzilla and Explosive Brutality are returning to help Psycho Killa, all he has to do is stay alive a little bit longer. However, if War and Peace had known, they probably would have pushed in and finished him off, and then maybe we would have had
They're not coming. They've stopped. Radzilla and Explosive Brutality are now pushing against Pavlo. Psycho Killa's like, you know what, guys, I got this, but he doesn't. He's going to get surrounded here, and AC Dub gets the kill. It is now 3 Tier 8s and 1 Tier 1 versus 2 Tier 8s left on the field. 2 1390s versus 2 T-69s. But look at the health pool. Robot Chicken is 25 HP away from death, 195 for Herbal Thrill, and 706 for AC Dub. Some well-timed shots and a little bit of high rolls could mean a serious win for Nerve here on this map.
I think Nerve can still do it, even though they're down a little bit of DPM. But it's very easy to actually get the advantage, just double tap and double kill some Tier 8s. Herbal Thrill and Robot Chicken just so close to dying over here. And we'll see if it actually happens, as AC Dub is going to come up here and try to proxy spot a little bit.
Well, he is. He's going to proxy out Radzilla, although I do believe, yeah, Explosive Brutality remains unspotted. Although Robot Chicken and Herbal Thrill
He is
are
unspotted, but
holding
they're pinging where he's going to be.
Oh, wow.
Act Up.
AC Dub. Act Up.
I call him Act Up.
Yeah, makes sense.
There's no caps.
I want to call him ACDC, but it's ACD.
Well, AC Dub was able to land a shot against, was it Explosive Brutality or Radzilla on that last one?
I didn't see him land any hits. I must have missed it. But it would have been Explosive Brutality. Radzilla was not in the fight at all.
And Explosive Brutality coming around the side, maybe getting a shot here.
He's predicting.
And he's kind of lucking out. Yeah, he's predicting. Oh, Robot Chicken, goodbye.
Delicious. Get it?
There he
Boom.
goes. Nice shot from Explosive Brutality, getting around that rock formation. And now Herbal Thrill still left alive with 195.
Look at this. Radzilla now getting a beautiful shot on AC Dub, and he's not going to go down. I'm just kidding, guys.
He doesn't want to risk himself, but T-69 could rip Radzilla apart right now. And Explosive Brutality is just trying to find that T-69. Explosive Brutality knows he can finish off the low health Herbal Throw. He's a one-shot, right?
195. He is a one-shot. Now he's going to peek around the corner. Explosive Brutality. Is he behind the bushes? He may be, but Herbal Thrill is going to use that burning hole of the old tank here. But Explosive Brutality moves just across. Herbal Thrill shoots into the rock formation. Explosive Brutality.
And AC Dub is going to go down. Great shots by Radzilla. And now it's 2v1 just in the blink of an eye. We have a big numbers game change. And Explosive Brutality, I would say just go for it. YOLO swag.
Nerve is one tank away
it's
from
not YOLO
taking
swag,
a
it's
victory.
cleanup.
Yeah, that's true. Cleanup. It's janitor time.
And here comes Radzilla around the way. Herbal Thrill's going to line up the shot, and he goes down. That's going to be a match point victory for Nerve as they take the win, and 3 points goes to their team. Congratulations to them. Also, War and Peace, they got some fight in them. And I really like that first one that they have, but Nerve held the line. They got it together. They started to gel better as a team, and especially on Ensk, that great play of lining up those tanks and lining up those shots and using those windows.
I think they got a little bit flustered at the end. War and Peace had the advantage with 3 Tier 8 tanks against 2. They even had the overmatch over on the west side, and the T-32s did not share damage. Now, there was some sort of priority mess-ups. I saw a little bit where some T-30 or one T-32 was bouncing a lot of shots, but they still cleaned up the side. From there, you cannot stay on that low ground. On Cliff, I mean, there are so many shots from those high grounds, and especially in 1390s, they're going to be able to do that very, very silently and always get those consistent shots. Get out of that bottom ground, try to equalize up, and have a good brawl with your Major 1390 that has a lot of hit points, taking the majority of the damage at the beginning phases.
Those T-32s got locked down pretty quickly, but Haywood and Goonswarm stayed alive as long as they could to try to return fire. And if we'll take a look at the damage output of Good Swarm, 6 for 6 for 5 penetrations. Not too bad for a T-32, but it was Haywood they got locked down. And the position they were in that little cave area on that mountainside, they're backed up to a wall. There's nowhere they could go.
But they can share HP still. And we saw the Goon Swarm just stay on the hill. He would shoot and he sat stationary the whole time. And that's definitely a position where you have to help your fellow T-32 out. Even if it's an extra shot that you're getting out of it, it's definitely worth it in the long run.
Randall, what did you see?
You guys summed it up pretty well. It was a big overmatch on the west side that didn't work out, and it was T-69's probably failing to get aggressive, getting scared because they had a little bit of health left. They just ended up dying and not doing quite as much as they probably could have.
Well, this is the type of nerve play that we have wanted to see in this season. Last night was a little bit difficult for them, but tonight we really saw it, and kind of what we commented last night, going back and forth between the two teams. Like, yes, they did perform well, but they needed to make decisions and executions better, and I feel they did a better job tonight, and I think they're going to progress better and better throughout the season.
Well, I do believe, isn't it that no team, only Bernal Empires, but besides Bernal Empires, no team has actually walked out with a 100% loss rate today. The people that lost yesterday ended up winning, and I feel like No Limit against Bernal Empires, that was a situation where one of them had to take 2 losses. But still, all the teams that kind of lost before are showing a little bit bite in their second matches. They're coming back into it.
And we're just getting started. It's only day number 2 and week number 1. We got 3 weeks of Great World of Tanks play here in North America, and we have one more match for tonight, and that is one of the favorites here. One of the favorites here. River of Blood is back in full armor, and we have Hammer Time joining us as well. Their debut for WGLNA. We're going to take a quick break. Thank you for your patience. Thanks for sticking with us tonight. One more match to go before we sign off. Stay tuned. River of Blood versus Hammer Time. After this, you're watching WGLNA.